Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd from Bish's RV. Literally a field reporter today. I'm literally in a field showing you this new RV today because, hey, why not try something different? This is the new Heritage Glen Veranda fifth wheel. Now, you may have seen the various veranda travel trailers and whatnot that have come out where they have this like 9.5 foot basically power deck off the back of this thing. It's literally a rear rack and pinion slide that extends out to create up to a 9.5 foot deck space with a built-in fridge and a built-in grill back here. Not to mention outdoor lighting, outdoor speakers, everything you really kind of want to hang out without having to get down here in the wet grass where my feet are today. But the thing is, on the inside, you've just got a big, wide open living space. You have awesome campsite window coverage on this thing, too. The views and the visibility that you can get off this is really fantastic. So especially parked in a field like this today, if you're parked in the middle of nowhere running off a generator like we are, it's a pretty cool experience to walk out on this thing and just get to experience kind of the grandeur of nature. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Heritage Glen is a fifth wheel brand and a travel trailer brand, frankly, that I think has been punching above their weight class. And what I mean by that is they have a lot of the features of the bigger high budget fifth wheels in something that's not necessarily going to blow your bankroll all at one time, like stackable washer dryer prep, bigger bedroom slide, you know, nice tall ceiling in the upper deck where somebody like me can stand around and have a good time. Now, this is a weird, wacky, wild, different kind of floor plan that I actually think would work really, really well for some kind of park living, but sitting out again where it's at today next to the tree line, it does kind of become a little thought-provoking on where you could take this and what you could do with it. So we're going to show you what's awesome about it, maybe what's not, some things that make you go, and if you appreciate how we show you the good with the bad, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. And now that you've had kind of a quick little primer and overview, I call it our little floor plan in a flash, I want to kind of go through this thing zone by zone, give you some general information on it, and then get some very specific detailed information on it as we go through here. So kind of from the entry door, from the stairs, giving you the general bearings and point of view, I want to focus on the living and the entertainment area of this first. One of the nice things here is they were not shy about the TV size in this. This is one of the largest smart TVs I think I've ever seen in a towable RV. I don't have the, it says, I was going to say I don't have the size of it, but there's literally a sticker on it right there. Looks like a 65-inch, I'm assuming that's diagonal, screen size. But even though we have opposing slides to really open up the living space, when I sit over here in this like multi-function, you know, wraparound L lounge thing, it is very easy direct viewing, and that little electric space heater down there is actually pumping out a lot of heat today, which I personally appreciate, especially since doing this video the way that I'm doing, I've got a bunch of doors constantly left open on me. Now, in case you are curious, for privacy's sake, you know, give me half a second, I'll demonstrate that you actually do have curtains back there, so it's not like the neighbors behind you at the campsite next door are constantly staring into your living room. And you ever be on an airplane, and you know the airplanes where there's like a movie screen, there's like a little miniature TV screen built into the back of the headrest in front of you? Is anybody else one of these weird creeper people? Or I could literally watch anything I want on that screen, but instead half the time there's like a person sitting 2 rows in front of me, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what is that? And I end up watching what's on their screen more than what's on my screen. Anybody else do that? Or am I just like some weirdo entertainment TV creeper guy? I don't know. Anyway, you've seen a lot of these ottomans, you know, different brands have different versions of it. Obviously that can flip up to be handy little kind of, I don't know, like easy access coffee table kind of situation with some storage. Now, this is the point where I expected to be displaying a hide-a-bed sleeper sofa for you, but I was a little bit surprised when I walked over here to grab these nice tufted backers. They're actually attached, and I was like, what? And that I almost turned into like Beavis and Butthead, like, excuse me? Okay, so what we have here is the whole lounge thing basically has storage below it. which normally I don't live open a lot of storage on camera like this for you because I think it's very awkward and my footage is already awkward enough, kind of like, my entire personality. But hey, that's what we have. The thing is, I've always kind of said with these big L sofas, I don't know that I need it to open into a sleeper, because if you look at how long that sucker is right there, I think that you actually have plenty of potential sleeping capacity. Now, they've adopted these I call them square flow windows, which do open for airflow, and they actually give you great airflow, but you also have blackout shades anytime that you want them right here. It also means that they were able to get rid of the big boxy cardboard valances held together just like with a machine gun line of staples, which I think is also nice. Again, I mentioned that you do have the ability to kind of pull that curtain there and privatize that off. A little bit of light's going to bleed through, but nobody's going to be able to see anything while you're in there. And the entertainment center, the slide's quite wide, so they had an opportunity to basically have these big double storage towers on either side of it. And just to give you a bit of a size reference, was that Hunter back there in the background? I think that was. Awesome. I'll have to go say hi. Maybe we'll get lunch later. I don't know. He's another YouTube guy in case you were kind of curious. I stuffed one of the pillows from the sofa all the way back there, and you can see that there's plenty of space left over inside that thing. You can actually use that. A lot of entertainment cabinets, once TVs became smaller, thinner, flat screens, a lot of entertainment cabinets became borderline useless for storage, and it looks like this one doesn't have that deficiency. And it is worth noting that this rear patio door does have a key lock, which is obviously kind of nice. Now, I'm going to give you a couple different looks at this, one coming, one going kind of thing. The light off that curtain was flickering weird. I'm sorry, I don't know what that's even about, but this is kind of interesting because you have a basically like a 40-inch, I think it is, extension deck on the back of a full-time fixed deck down here, but this is all composite like flooring, so it's designed to be outdoors all the time. And, it's designed to be able to go down the road in the weather and all that kind of stuff and not be a problem. You see the mighty Maverick back there, the Nerd Mobile, because I just wasn't sure I could handle the power of the Ford freaking Ranger, so I went with its little brother. I like how we also still have the Tron Fusion lighting back here so that it, really, even in the evening hours or early morning, you can actually kind of see what you're doing back here. Now, what's cool about this is it's a dedicated full-time, it's got the fixed bar and everything. And some folks have asked on some of these other verandas, can I get it without the whole bar and grill? No, from the factory, this is how it comes right here. But it leaves you room for some dedicated, really nice chairs, while still being able to kind of come and go and free flow through the whole thing here. Now, if you're not going to use it for the grill and the griddle thing, what you actually do have is just a large outdoor countertop. It's all galvanized rolled steel. So again, it can rain all over this thing. It can endure Midwestern snow storage and not be a problem. But if you do want to do some outdoor grilling, that is a large griddle over here. It looks like, I wonder if they cooked lunch or something for their team in this prototype, because it looks like maybe it's already been kind of pre-seasoned. Oh, I like that little spice rack up there on the wall. That is handy. Fun fact, Kentucky Fried Chicken on, it used to be called Twitter, whatever it's called now, only follows 11 accounts. The 5 Spice Girls and 6 guys named Herb. The 11 herbs and spices. That's some well-played nonsense there, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well done. By the way, there is a cover for that sink, which I actually feel is surprisingly nice and deep. The RV industry very often is too guilty of using the smallest thing they possibly can every time. And that's one you can actually get your tongs and everything in there and do some real cleaning off of it. But I like this patio setup. Being able to be back here and not be down in the wet grass is really, really fun. Because in a few minutes here, I'm going to have to get down there in that wet grass to get you some exterior footage. But that's what I signed up for. That's the job. I'm not complaining about it. What do we have in here? We are carpetless, And we are ventless flooring, so this is very easy cleaning. Your slide floors are all, down, well, your lower deck, it's all rack and pinion and floor flush. That's that marine woven slide floor stuff. This window, I demonstrated the one window, but this window does have the same kind of blackout shades that we saw from the other window. And what do you think of these little corner shelves up here? I don't think you're going to be able to put anything up there and travel down the road, but when you get to your destination, they got kind of a cute look, and they give you the idea that you can put storage there without making the RV look too boxy and enclosed, you know? The thing is, this has a little bit of what I call a dine-a-land, where it's not a traditional dining arrangement. They kind of extended the island, gave you this huge island top over here, and actually, you know, no, I'm sorry, I can't count, I'm an idiot, 5 of these, like, low-back chairs right here. Some people like these, some people don't. You could always exchange the chairs out with whatever you like, or maybe you only need 2 or 3 of the chairs. You could just remove a couple of them and have extra leg space down there, or maybe a spot where you could put a pet bed and make a little pet palace or something like that. Keep your dog dishes or cat dishes or whatever down there. We've got a couple viewers with some very atypical pets. Like we've got a regular viewer who's always looking for a spot she can put her bird's cage. I think that's cool. I think that there's a lot of different people and everybody camps in different ways. And it's kind of cool sometimes when you hear someone who does it different to get a little bit of their thoughts and perspective. And I am a sucker anytime a manufacturer does this. When they make the storage come to you instead of you coming to the storage, I call this the pull-out perfect pantry right here, because it keeps everything in place while you're traveling, but it makes every ounce of that pantry easy to reach. And remember when the video began, I said that Heritage Glen is a brand that I think has kind of been punching above its weight class. And what I mean by that is they've started adopting things like bigger ovens, like the larger class fifth wheels, in something that is nowhere near the budget of a lot of your high-profile fifth wheels out there. Now, this kitchen has some goods and it has some bads. Like that stovetop obviously is right next to the refrigerator wall. And I could see that being a little bit problematic for some people. I do like that set of power outlets over there around the corner. But they're doing things again, like including the bigger, larger ovens that a lot of these, luxury type fifth wheel brands do that these don't. Now, you might notice a little bit of water splattering around. They were kind enough to load this refrigerator with a bunch of bottles of water because there's a few other people like me around here capturing a bunch of footage today, like we saw Hunter in the background earlier, and they stuffed a bunch of water in here. But a couple of the bottles apparently shifted while it was sitting here, and when I opened the door, one jumped at me and tried to attack me, and ended up hitting the ground and absolutely exploding inside the RV. So I did the best I could to kind of quick wipe stuff up. But we're in the middle of a field. I don't exactly have a lot of towels, and I couldn't get all of it, so sorry. Because, you know, when you see water in an RV, you kind of want to know where it came from. So I thought I'd just let you know instead of just letting your imagination run wild with something like that. Now, the whole entry coffee bar area, I like where they put some power outlets there. They've done a good job, too, of, again, really utilizing all the space here that they could. But there's a really smart bit of content here that is easy to miss when you have all the drawers in your way like this. So allow me to push a couple of these out of the way. And that's the location of your converter fuse panel. It's right by the door. There's no slides preventing you from getting to it. So it's easy to access if you do need to change a fuse or something like that. But it's also hidden. It's out of the way. Like if you have a little grandkid guest for the weekend, it's just out of sight, out of mind. It's just very unlikely that they're going to get their little hands on it and cause you problems. And anytime a manufacturer actually gives us a spot for a wastebasket like that, I tend to be a pretty happy camper. It kind of drives me nuts like a pirate with a ship's helm for a belt buckle when you got a big RV like this and nowhere to even put a trash can. It just doesn't make the most sense ever. And once again, the campside viewing coverage on this is just absolutely fantastic. And there's the little flicker on the screen again. I don't know what's causing that. I do apologize. I wonder if it's generator related. Moving upstairs into the bathroom space, one of the things that's actually kind of cool to see here is how they did go with an all one piece fiberglass shower enclosure. And for those who are unaware, It's literally a stronger object than when you get the two-piece plastic enclosure. The two-piece plastic enclosure, I call it the two-piece in a biscuit, and I've called it that ever since about 2 seconds ago when I first came up with that phrase. It's okay. Meanwhile, by the way, take a look at some space around the toilet, which is absolutely fantastic. But the one-piece fiberglass shower enclosure is fully molded and self-supported. When it's not mounted into the RV, it actually maintains its structural rigidity, whereas the plastic ones definitely don't do that. They wiggle and warble all over the place like crazy. Now that is as deep as the shower, so you're going to be reaching up to your armpit to get to the stuff in the back. You might want to put a couple like totes or something back there where you could more easily reach stuff. You do have a couple towel hooks on the back too. I appreciate the fact they weren't doing this a couple years ago. They went back to enclosing their bathroom storage based on your feedback. So continue to provide that feedback. And something I'm a little bit curious about, what do you think? Oh, soft close. That's nice. What do you think about the two-tone coloration they've gone with on the cabinet doors versus the cabinetry? I am not an interior decorator. I call it, I'm not Martin Stewart. I kind of prefer just one color, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave the decoration stuff to my wife. I'll just stay out of it more I think about it. You can see over there on the left-hand side of the screen that there's obviously great headroom, even if you're a little bit taller like me, because I'm wearing a hat, I'm wearing big, thick-soled shoes, and I'm a little bit over 6 foot tall myself, and I don't know if you noticed it. The radius work here on the mirror is very nice. It means that it doesn't have a dedicated medicine cabinet, but what they did over here is they included a couple of these basically like spice racks so that you could have a place to keep your Lipitors and stuff when you get up here. Now remember I talked about punching above their weight class. Look back through the clear glass door. You can see that this actually does have a folding shower seat. We have a stainless bathroom sink, and we still have solid surface countertops even here in the bathroom. And frankly, until you get to some really high luxury RV budgets, you rarely maintain things like the fiberglass shower enclosure, the seat in the shower, the solid surface counters in the bathroom. That's often stuff that is omitted. Now, shockingly, despite the size of this fifth wheel, second air conditioner is optional. So if you're out there shopping around and you see that one's a couple bucks less, one of the first things I would be asking is, does it still have the second air in the bedroom? Now, what's cool about that is both of your central airs on these benefit from last I knew. I haven't actually seen the sticker in it lately here, but the RV airflow system, which for years was an available aftermarket upfit kit that, as the name implies, improves the airflow in the RV, and it also removed a lot of the noise because basically by improving the airflow, you're reducing the turbulence, and it works very well. Now, this is one of those like 66 by 80 Olympic queens right here, and Heritage Glen was doing this way before a lot of brands, and it has really started to catch on the last couple of years. More and more manufacturers are adopting this because it still allows you decent room to get around the bed, but as compared to like a 70 by 80 RV King that doesn't really have a lot of good mattress replacements or sheets to dedicated fit something like that, this one right here, you can get on Amazon or whatever, and you can look up Olympic Queen mattress, Olympic Queen sheets, and you actually get results that will fit on something like this. And again, that's a thing that a lot of RV mattresses don't. Anytime you start to see the word custom in relation to bedding, get ready to have a headache trying to find something to replace it. And if you have found a better solution for that, do everybody a favor and share a little note in the comment section so they can also know where there are some, easier access kind of replacements. And real quick here, we obviously got triple drawers to the floors. There is a little bit of hidden storage under the top of that thing, but keep in mind, to flip that all the way up, you're going to have to basically remove everything that's on that stand. And flipping back around to the other side of the bedroom, obviously the bed is easy lift. I do like how they cut the corners off of that plywood decking, so you're just less inclined to just gash your shins and your legs. I can't tell you how many times I've come home and I get in the shower and the water hits me. I'm like, because I didn't realize that like I ripped off a big old chunk of skin down there or something like that. It happens very quickly, very easily. And you may have noticed that's just a full wide open front closet. We're still carpetless. But there's washer dryer hookups up there. So if you want to go combo or stackable, you totally could. Quick look, slides closed, road mode. You can definitely get up here into the bedroom, although Well, I say definitely. You can, if you leave the bedroom door open and then close the bed slide, you can get up here. You can always open the bedroom door just enough to get to the switches, because your actual bed slide switch is actually right here around the corner. I do also want to mention the slide mechanism on this upper deck bedroom slide is not the type where you should be using the bed while it's retracted. So handy little pro tip for you from your Uncle Josh. I'd rather help you keep this thing out of the shop, you know? But our lower deck here, well, I should mention, I'm walking right past the bathroom. The bathroom is going to be very easily travel accessible. I think a lot of people could probably recognize that. But what do we have downstairs? Well, again, you actually have a nice wide open chunk of space here. So if you do have a bunch of like storage totes for outside stuff or chairs, you can kind of bring all that in, although you're going to want to find a way to kind of strap that down. And we can't open the freezer section on the left, but we can open the refrigerator. Sometimes people ask, you know, why don't they use one of those lower style chest freezers? Why are they doing the vertical split? Because it's easier to get stuff in the kind with the lower chest. And this is the reason, because it allows you to still maintain at least refrigerator access in transit, whereas the lower chest types, it cause you to lose pretty much all of it. So the thing is, this is basically like proto run number 2, and they haven't fully done the full weights and measures and everything. That's actually going to happen after I record this. So hopefully on the left side of the screen, you're getting a look at what this thing weighs and the tank capacities and all that. This is the part of the video where I normally like to talk about towing, and that makes it very difficult to talk towing when I don't actually have weights and measures available. So I'm going to give you some estimations here. This thing is a pretty good long size rig. We got a full bed slide on the nose. I think it's pretty clear you don't want to be towing this with the Ford freaking Ranger by any stretch of the imagination. However, I do think that we're probably pretty fairly in like SRW 1-ton country right here. Single rear wheel. I don't know that you necessarily need to go dually. Again, I am just loose estimating. It might be possible that there are some heavier duty 3/4 tons that could potentially do the trick, but that may end up being totally wrong by the time we actually find the weights and the measures. So what do we know instead of what don't we know? I do know that I'm kind of next to that little Predator generator, but it is actually pretty fairly quiet. Let's talk slide systems. Upper deck, you've got a Schwintek slide. Lower deck, you have rack and pinion, just to kind of give you that info. Both of your propane tanks are actually located over here behind that closed door. I like to try to point out where I locate those things. Wrapping our way around, one thing that I always like to look for is how many sewer connections do we have. And I think your kitchen and your bathroom and everything drain out this front gray tank. Out the back there, I think that's a dedicated drain strictly for the rear sink on the rear patio. So if you're not using that for water service, you have one single sewer outlet. If you are using that back there, you're going to want to kind of come up with something. Now, I'm not at a good spot to be able to display it for you, but the underbelly, it is enclosed. It is forced air heated. It also has radiant barrier layering and holding tank heaters. Now, that's all the same stuff that a lot of brands call 4 seasons. I don't like that phrase. I don't like 4 seasons. And what I respect about Heritage, Glen, and Hemisphere is that they don't try to overpromise and underdeliver stuff. They call it extended season. They don't try to make up words for it. Now, something I've noticed currently on both sides of the RV, your hot air exhaust points can be covered by doors. Now, I don't think you're going to just leave that baggage door open all the time, but if that water heater is cranking up, it can get hot very, very quickly on that surface. And you don't want to leave that door directly over the face of it. So you may actually want to plan on including some kind of little rubber door stopper or something on there so you don't end up melting the door. Now, it's not a drop frame, but it is a pretty large front storage compartment, which is very nice. I also appreciate, like, they kept it very unobstructed, although that does mean that your docking station is somewhat open-faced, which I don't always love, but I don't know. It's like if you want to give, you got to get kind of thing, or if you want to get, you got to give. I don't know. Battery disconnect with the little red switch, currently disconnected. And if you see the charge controller on a Heritage, Glen, or Hemisphere, like you're looking at right now, that means that it does have the factory solar package built right onto it. Now, it's a 30 amp PWM controller. It's a 200 watt solar package, and that's all it is. They don't do big, heavy, mega solar packages from the factory here. If that's stuff you're looking for, give us a call. We can take care of all that. Like, we can do that stuff for you at Bish's RV. Now, if you're looking at this, it does have one campsite slide, but it's a pretty minimal impact entertainment slide. It's not super deep, and it's kind of toward the back of the RV. So if you did want to, like, if you were less mobile, if you're just going to put this at a park site, and you could still pretty much build a deck onto the face of it if you were so inclined. Plus, you have your own dedicated rear deck on this thing. You could double deck it. And, you know, double decker is usually how I eat my bacon cheeseburgers. But what I'm getting at here is that if you wanted to, you could probably still make it pretty deck friendly. Probably just stop the deck once it gets to the slide. Now, these are Maxxis import tires. There's no special suspension package going on right here. But if you're going to be somebody who wants to take this on the road a lot, I would recommend seriously considering something like a MORryde upfit. This is also a 6-point leveling, auto leveling system on this one, which a lot of your Heritages only have a like 4-point system. Now this rear deck right here, it's actually 2 sections. You see where the support beams, like where the roof line ends, that's actually where the chassis stops. And then it extends, basically, it's a super slide. You can see the rack and pinion mechanism under that thing back there. So, you know, you end up with close to 9.5 foot of deck space. So when you're going down the road, it's not quite as long, but when you get to your destination, it actually grows a little bit. The RV is a little bit of a grower, not a shower in that way. But if you look at where the chassis frame rails end, I mean, you've got all kinds of strength, structure, and support under that deck, and those are composite deck boards, again, so the weather doesn't rot them out. Here's the thing. People are going to say, why didn't they put tie-downs on that rear deck? And my guess is the lawyer McLawyer pants muckety mucks went, yeah, if people want to start loading heavy cargo or like a motorcycle on the back of this, theoretically they could, but that would greatly negatively impact their towing scenario, and we don't want to get people hurt, we don't want to get people killed, and we're just not going to offer that from the factory. So theoretically, it could hold the weight for it, but it's just really not set up to do that. And I don't love that, but I'm also not going to mislead you and try to overpromise and underdeliver on this thing. What I am wondering though is, where is the ladder access to the roof? So, I discovered in its current format, it actually has not even a prep mount point to get you up to the roof. However, I think that there are some opportunities for some solutions if the factory feels like doing it. I'm not telling you this is going to happen. I'm saying that they might consider doing it, and it may go into production. I don't know. Basically, right up here between these 2 slides, or, sorry, I'm doing this in the weather person reverse view, all the way in the back, like over the patio, there's some blank wall space there. One of those little mount brackets for a telescopic removable ladder could slap right up there, and I think at least offer the opportunity. And a lot of brands, actually, like all your Brinkley Model G 5th wheel toy haulers, they do a side mount prep bracket for a roof access ladder. Like, that works. They just haven't done it here. Whether they do or don't, I don't know. I'm encouraging them to do that, but I found that what I encourage and what you encourage have 2 different weights. Like, if it's me talking, it's just one dude yakking. If it's people who might actually buy this thing sharing feedback, what do you think they should do? All right, so that's all I have to share on it. What's your opinion? Is this thing a scarecrow? Is it outstanding in its field, or not? Is it just scary? I don't know. I will leave you some links in the video description to double check pricing and availability. I may also, if I can remember, dig up links to the other veranda models, like if you want something a little bit smaller, lighter, you want a trailer, or you want like more of a destination park model. You like this layout, but you don't need a 5th wheel. We got that for you too at Bish's RV, so let us know what you're looking for, and chances are we've got it. So until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.